Hi, this is Joanna, and today I'm creating a Christmas card. I'm scoring my card base at 5.5, and the card base is made out of Nina Silver White. And here I'm just stamping my owl from Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to do some partial die cutting, so that's why I was measuring up with my photo die, so I could get it in the correct place. And here I'm just securing the die for the owl. And when you're doing partial die cutting, the die will only cut where there is 2 plates. So anything that's hanging off, in this case the owl's leg, is not going to be cut. So you see there's only the top of the owl. I want the photo frame and the owl to be the same piece. So I'm going to do some partial die cutting with the photo frame as well. So I'm just lining it up here. So I will get the owl in the correct place. And then I'm just doing the same thing. Everything that you can see when you're doing partial die cutting is not being cut. So I'm just cutting around the owl, so the owl's legs will still be secured to the photo frame. Now I'm done using my die cut machine for now. So I'm going to use a craft knife to cut out the parts where I couldn't cut with my die cut machine. So I'm just lining it up with a ruler and cut in those lines. And I'm not cutting where the owl stands because I want the owl and the photo frame to still be connected. And here I'm just cutting around the owl's feet. And then it's done, and then you have the photo frame and the owl as the same piece. And now I'm going to color in my owl, and I'm using copics. And I'm not an expert at copic really, I'm just learning still. And I'm starting out with my lightest color, and then I'm using a darker color, and then I'm blending it out with my lightest color. So for the brown shades, I'm doing just the same thing, starting out with the lightest, and then I'm going in with a little darker color, and then an even darker color again. And I have 3 different markers. I have the Copic Sketch, and I have the Copic Chow, and also the Copic markers, because in the beginning I couldn't buy the sketch where I live, so I had to buy the markers. And then I really liked Copics, so I ordered them online. So that's why I have all these different markers. And here I'm creating my background for the photo frame. And I'm using some Hero Arts ink to just color in the background. So it's the sky background. And normally I would use I think I would use Distress ink because they blend a little bit better, but I don't have a Distress ink that matches the pattern paper that I'm going to use. So I used Hero Arts, and that works fine. And this is a stencil, and I actually made this myself, just with punching out some small holes in a plastic sheet, really. And here I'm just smearing on some modeling paste. It's like embossing paste, just a little bit thicker. And here is the pattern paper that I'm using. This is a really old pattern paper. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoarding my pattern paper, so I don't use much. But now finally I'm using this one at least. But this was a little bit crumbled at the top, my pattern paper, so I'm just using my bone folder just to straighten it out. And it works really good. And I was measuring this, but I wasn't measuring it good enough, so I had to cut around the edges to cut the excess of the pattern paper off. And here I'm just lining my die up so I can adhere it behind my owl. And I'm stamping the sentiment also in between. So I'm using VersaFine ink, and I'm stamping my sentiment at the photo frame. And this is actually a different sentiment. It's not including in the stamp set for the owl. It's another Lawn Fawn stamp set because the stamp set that belongs to the owl was too big for the photo frame, so I took another one. And here I'm just adhering the owl and the sky piece. And when I used my X-Acto knife, I actually it made a mistake. So, and that mistake was really bugging me. I just cut a slit right in the corner. So I'm using some twine to cover up my mistake. So I'm just tying a bow. And no one will ever know there is a slit behind the bow. That's really good. So now I'm just adhering my owl to my card base. So I'm using some foam adhesive. And I'm just adhering it. And here I'm just removing some glue. And I'm using my corner jumper to round the bottom corners. And I'm also using some crystal glaze, it's like glossy accent, on the owl's scarf. And I'm also giving him some googly eyes to make him cute, even cuter. So I'm adhering that with some glossy accent as well. And then the card is done. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like it, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, take care.